Okay, so I want to ask, do you think that the Black Clover manga is going to end in 2023, or there's too much to go through in order to wrap up the series, and we're going to have to take a little bit more than that? Because in case you ain't here, Black Clover's manga is on its final arc. It's been on its final arc for a few months now, ever since it came back from that hiatus that it went through for a couple of months. Black Clover is on the grand finale, so to speak, and of course, we've been going up against Lucius Zogratis, which is one of the biggest plot twists the series has ever seen, that essentially Julius, all along, was inhabiting this spirit, so to speak, very reminiscent of the Patri stuff. That is Lucius Zogratis, a very, very bad, devilish, devil kind of guy. And we've been for quite a few chapters now at this point in the land of the rising sun, after Sister Lily was under the control of Lucius Zogratis and sent Asta on his way to the land of the rising sun with that blast that was supposed to take him away. So, all for one of the things that needs to be solved in 2023 Black Clover, amongst many that we're going to get into, is Sister Lily. Sister Lily shooting Asta off opposed to obliterating him into smithereens. It makes you question, okay, well, is Sister Lily really under the control of this guy to begin with, or is she under control, but there was a small slither of her in there that was able to break through to push Asta instead of obliterating him to another dimension, sent him to the land of the rising sun? Like, that's something very big that needs to be solved already in Black Clover coming into 2023, because personally, at first, I thought, oh yeah, they absolutely could wrap it up in this year. But the way Black Clover has been going, especially post time skip, ever since it's returned, it's not as crazy blitzing fast pace as it used to be. Granted, it's not slow by any means, and when it gets crazy, like the climax of the first clash of Asta versus Lucius, it does still like that Black Clover fast pace. But for example, ever since we made it to the land of the rising sun, we've been at a very steady, nice pace that is kind of unusual for Black Clover, considering everybody knows, it's not no secret that Black Clover's breakneck fast speed is a little bit ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's out of this world of how fast it used to be. So the way things was maneuvering at first, I was like, okay, you know, Black Clover, it goes through things like butter. You can get through an entire arc extremely quickly. It's going to end fairly quickly. But ever since we've gotten to the land of the rising sun and I've seen the pacing, part of me feels like there's a high probability that Black Clover very well could even surpass 2023, that it could go into maybe 2024 at the very least, because there's a lot of things that need to be resolved. Now, granted, I want to throw a disclaimer that I truly believe that the movie that drops in March of Black Clover on Netflix is a determining factor if we go into 2024 or if we wrap this bad boy up by like maybe the summertime or the fall time. I'm gonna just keep it real, because yeah, Black Clover, it has that ability to switch on and off to, okay, it'll be breakneck and then, oh, it's nice and steady with the land of the rising sun. But even where we've been with the land of the rising sun with that nice pacing, it seems as though maybe there was more training to come, but Tabata was like, okay, maybe people aren't feeling it like that, it's not being received well. Well, here you go. Sister Lily already made it over there to the land of the rising sun, and the the rising seven are fighting. It could very well speed up whenever it wants, but that's what makes me think that, again, with the pacing we've been going through thus far, if this movie does well on Netflix, they'll be like, okay, well, we want to bring the anime back at some given point anyway, we'll let you continue a little bit longer. If the movie tanks, they will probably have everything that I'm about to tell you wrapped up in, like, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 months. Because mind you, on top of everything that's going on right now, Asta is currently training. Even though the, you know, Rising 7 are going up against Sister Lily and a 5-headed dragon, which is kind of pretty nuts. I wish Tabata would put more emphasis on it. I feel like the Rising 7 are slicing through it like butter when, yeah, okay, they've been hyped up to be mad grandiose, but dog, it's a 5-headed freaking dragon. So I'm interested to see where that conflict goes. But nevertheless, again, Asta is still training. Like, he's gotten a little bit, but even when he was, you know, training earlier before the attack began, he realized that, holy cow, like, I'm still nowhere close to even possibly being able to use the techniques that they know here on the land of the rising sun. So we're still a ways off from Asta even being ready to go back and fight Lucius. How do we resolve this? What happens there? That's something that needs to get solved in Black Clover in 2023, that, yo, Sister Lily is already attacking, yet we're in the middle of a training session and we still got a ways to go to be ready to fight Lucius. Do we have it that Sister Lily is defeated here on, and I was almost gonna say Wano, Wano, I'm not gonna lie. In the Land of the Rising Sun, and basically they convert her back. Maybe after Asta hits her a couple times with his sword, she's like, hey, anti-magic, disperse the nonsense that Lucius did to me. And then we move forward from there. That's probably where we're gonna go with it. Maybe the heartbreak that Tabata gave Asta and the fans in general, seeing Asta broken down like that, is about to be resolved sooner than later. Maybe this isn't gonna be like a final thing of Lucius holding Sister Lily as Asta attacks to save her in the grand finale. And essentially, yeah, that's gonna take at least a few chapters for Sister Lily to be defeated, because even though, you know, it's good old Sister Lily, she looks kind of confident. I think, you know, the whole Lucius having her back and whatnot and empowering her has really given her an oomph. So maybe a few chapters could resolve that aspect. But then there's more stuff, because don't forget, in the madness that all of this ensued, when we got to the Land of the Rising Sun, we find out Yami has a son. Yami has a sister named Ichika, and Ichika told a very dark tale of Yami essentially being on some murderous, you know, he wiped out his clan and then he dipped out, which, come on, let's be real. If anybody has ever seen Black Clover and experienced Yami in a couple episodes, you know that's not Yami, unless like he's really hiding it and he was just such a bad guy and he's trying to repent or whatnot. Like, it's probably the case of Yami was duped. People was probably telling him some stuff that wasn't true. Maybe they say, yo, dog, get on this boat. And I still, to this particular point, am looking a little bit at Ryudo. I still don't completely trust him. A lot of things seem a little bit suspicious, how they got there to the Land of the Rising Sun immediately. Maybe Ryudo, you know what I'm saying? He might be that dude that set up Yami. I don't think Yami was on some Itachi stuff. We seen that one scene with all the bodies. It could very well be that, well, maybe we saw his abusive father that used to put his hands on, you know, Ichika. Probably Yami was like, enough is enough one day, and then he dipped out, which that is a little bit more understandable of, yo, dog, you about to hurt somebody I care about and love. No, absolutely not. I'm not going to tolerate that. And if that's the case, I stand with Yami 1000%. But I say all that to say that Yami's character arc needs to come to a close at this particular point, because now if the series is wrapping up, we now are starting to get into his whole samurai origin, so to speak, coming from Japan and whatnot. We're getting that aspect of, you know, what Tabata's influences are with Yami. So we definitely got to resolve Yami's backstory as well. Not to mention his, you know, romance with Charlotte. That's another big thing. Like, I don't ever see Yami trying to go for Wizard King position. I mean, clear as day, even when the whole stuff happened with Julius, he was never going to take it. He's never going to be Wizard King. But we got the romance with Charlotte, which I feel like that's all but damn near confirmed at this particular point. Like, it's pretty much almost going to happen, I feel like. I feel like it's happening. I'm just saying. So we got to resolve that as well, which Yami's character, that's my favorite character in Black Clover. Pretty freaking important, and it better be badass. But I just got to say again, free my guy, dog. He ain't do it. What they doing to my man's name? They putting smut on his name. Oh my god. And by the way, let's not forget that Black Clover is not a small cast of characters. It's not only Asta, Yami, and things of that nature. We have an entire squad of the Black Bulls, and I'm almost certain that Yuki Tabata is not going to end Black Clover until he gives one more go around, one more ride, where all of the Black Bull members have a moment. That's been par for the course. It's like My Hero with UA. Everybody in 1A gets their moment. Everybody of the Black Bulls got to have their moment as well. And we got to kind of, even if they're smaller things, you know, there's subplots, nevertheless, we got to resolve, you know, Luck's story. Maybe he finally doesn't want to fight no more after all this time. We got to go into Gordon's family. I think Gordon's family was something that Tabata had higher plans for, and things just didn't go the way he wanted, so he kind of left it alone, because it looked like when we was training up initially before the first war that we was going to possibly have more of Gordon's family being involved, but they really just played Dragon Radar, like, yo, dog, the Dragon Balls are here, or the demons are over here, there you go. But nevertheless, I would like some resolution with Gordon, his connection or disconnection with his family in general, and just kind of diving more into that. I think that is at the very least necessary for his character. Vanessa, I don't really see much more we could do with her. We did get her character resolved in the witch arc. Again, it's just really like a moment, honestly. Like, that's really what I think is almost required for all of them, because majority of their backstories have, you know, the character arcs are done. It's just to give them the dope moment. The Magna, another really awesome moment, although for the most part be okay if Magna doesn't have any major moments, because he still has one of the most dopest moments of Black Clover in the last, I don't know how many years, with its battle against Dante, where yo, dog, he pulled a Kurapika. It was magnificent. And yeah, so Magna, another cool moment would be fine, but I'm totally good, or, you know, on Magna. He gave a lot. And again, I could go on, but just in general, I'm here to say that the Black Bull members are absolutely going to also need their moments, which is going to, again, take some time, because as it stands right now, they're not even relevant in the manga at the moment. Like, they're all the way over in the Clover Kingdom. Asta's over here with Sister Lily, so we need to get back over there to begin with before we even start to, you know, give them moments. And then also we got to have villains or some type of threat that they call join in on. It could be a giant threat, or it could be multiple little threats, but that's something else that Black Bull's got to get their shine. And then, you know, we talking about Black Bull members, yeah, that's important, that's Asta's teams, but there's something in the hierarchy that also needs to be explored and is going to have massive, insane moments as well. Like Mario Leona, for example, the captains in general, the Magic Knight captains, like Mario Leona, you know, we got to have a giant demon that she could fight all day and night. It got to look like, I don't know, Godzilla, son. Mario Leona versus Godzilla for the finale. I need that, dog. We resolved Nozel and the Silver family household, you know, bloodline crisis to a certain degree. Obviously, we found out Nozel was never really on that type of time. It was a protection, you know, Itachi-esque type of thing, except without the murder and, you know, psychological torture. Oh, well, yeah, it was psychological torture. They did Noel dirty. But Nozel either becoming Wizard King before Asta and Yuno are capable of it, or something there, because let's keep it clear. There's no way that at the moment Asta becomes Wizard King. It just would be a little ridiculous. Like, he's not mentally. He might be one of the best they got, that he got anti-magic, but mentally he's not. You know what I'm saying? He's not Wizard King yet. So Nozel replacing Julius, because I have no doubt in my mind that, well, something that needs to be addressed is, of course, the next Wizard King. Julius should step down. Absolutely. Once he comes back and once they defeat Lucius, I don't think Julius is going to be killed, although that would be, you know, big thing as well. He needs to step down the same way that he didn't punish Patry, you know, William Vengeance, that whole scenario. He needs to step down and punish himself, because at that point it's like, how are the people ever going to really trust a ruler that all this time has had something within him working in the shadows? Somebody absolutely needs to dethrone, and he needs to step down Julius, unless he doesn't even make it out alive, which I think that's a possibility. I'm leaning more towards he's going to survive and step down, and again, I'm going to lean it towards Nozel of the Magic Knight captains to become the next, because I mean, there's Fuegoleon. I just don't see him being bigger for, you know, being a candidate than Nozel. And let's not forget, because despite the fact that Black Clover is breakneck speed, there's been a lot of world building. We got to see the Diamond Kingdom. We got to see a lot of, you know, the underwater people, which it's crazy that we've never really revisited them, considering I believe her name is Kahona. She is like one of the most popular Black Clover characters, so I'm sure we'll get a moment with them as well. So, you know, that's going to be a big one. And let's not forget that we need to have, of course, the final battle. Asta and Yuno need to, well, that might not be the final battle, but Asta and Yuno need to go up against and defeat Lucius Zogratis, Julius Novacrona. Like, they need to go and take him out, which that'll be a few chapters as well, and then there'll probably be even another few chapters of Asta on his own after Yuno has been X, Y, and Z out of the picture, leaving it to Asta. It'll probably be Asta, Yuno, and Noel on some Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura stuff. The two of them eventually will be taken out. You know, they'll be down for the count, and then it'll be down to Asta, which that'll be a few chapters as well. And I mean, if we're talking grand finale, considering the harem that Asta has built up and acquired over time, we need to resolve, you know, Asta's love life. Who is he going to end up with? And I'm gonna lean towards Noel. And of course, we need to find out who's going to be the Wizard King at the end. Obviously, everybody wants to see Asta obtain that title. And again, I think that'll be more like an epilogue thing. I think it'll be similar again to the thing that inspired it, Naruto, where the final chapter will be Asta being Wizard King, Yuno being the regular king, you know, that little royal king that is like a bad guy. He'll be replaced by Yuno. Asta will be the Wizard King, and bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. That's the ending of Black Clover, and everything that needs to be resolved that might not be able to be resolved completely if we rush through it and finish it soon. Like, I think we probably got another year's worth in order to pad all that out. But again, if that movie flops, I'm expecting maybe summertime they'll drop it. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. What is left in Black Clover that you think absolutely needs to be explored that has not? Something I mentioned, something I didn't, your expectations, and in general, do you think Black Clover's manga ends in 2023? That's all I have for this one. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Subscribe and hit that bell to get more Yeah, peace in.
I have a dream, alone in my room as I sit with the tea. Couldn't possibly think what I often see, and you don't even know how I often blink. Lights be flashing and looking at me, such an odd unique, yet I'm so unique and you're looking at me. If the walls could talk, they would probably read bleak, and I'd probably say, bitch, get the fuck off me.